Do you know around 60% patients who are intubated in hospital are prone to pneumonia known as ventilator associated pneumonia. Every intubation done in intensive care unit increases the risk of developing pneumonia by 6 times. And whenever duration of mechanical ventilation increases, the chances of developing VAP increases by at least 3% per day. And when this pneumonia developing due to ventilator are complicated by multi-drug resistant organism, the mortality of patient increases to around 40%, which means that is 4 out of 10 patients will die if affected by MDR bug in the lung. Let us first define what is VAP, that is ventilator associated pneumonia. Basically, it's a type of hospital acquired infection which you get from hospital flora when patient develops pneumonia after 48 hours of intubation. Important thing here, it's development after 48 hours. Before that time period, it is usually not considered ventilator associated. Gram negative bacteria are the most common type causing this VAP, followed by gram positive bacteria. It's further divided into two types depending on the duration of onset. Number 1, early onset VAP, which develops within 5 days of intubation, which is generally caused by antibiotic sensitive bugs which are easy to tackle. Or the second type known as late onset VAP. It is the pneumonia developing after 5 days of intubation. They are the complicated cases affected by multi-drug resistant organism. It is this category which has highest mortality rate. There are various factors responsible for developing ventilator associated pneumonia. From here onwards, we will call it as just VAP. Some factors are host related, that is occurring due to patient itself, like patient of advanced age. With increased age, chances of VAP increases due to decrease in immunity, or patient may be unconscious due to any cause. This both condition causes drooling of saliva and aspiration, or patient suffering from any disease due to which he is getting repeatedly intubated, like neuromuscular disease, making it prone for VAP. Other factors apart from host factors are like using infected or used devices like endotracheal tubes, repeated change of ventilator circuit. All this provide easy access to microorganisms to enter the respiratory circuit and affect the patient. Other factors can be personal or caregiver related, like new nursing staff who is untrained in suctioning allotted to ventilator patient who is not following any sterile technique for suctioning or not doing hand hygiene before handling secretions. These are all common faulty techniques making everything ready for infection to develop. Now we will see the usual pathophysiology of VAP development. There are many ways a person can develop VAP in ICU stay, but three main mechanisms which I feel are very common and are very much preventable. Let's see each in detail. Foremost cause by which VAP can occur is inadequate endotracheal tube pressure. Bacteria normally colonizes aerodigestive tract, that is in your mouth in saliva. When ET tube is placed after intubation, with the help of saliva, this bacteria drain down and gets collected in subglottic region of oral cavity. And if the pressure in the ET tube balloon is not sufficient, that is if the tube is leaky, then they quickly travel and affect lower respiratory tract and cause VAP. It is this microaspiration which acts as a source of infection. Second most important mode by which bacteria gets entry in respiratory system is by regurgitation of stomach content. Rayleigh tube are usual affair in unconscious patient. When patient is in supine position, this Rayleigh tube causes interruption of gastroesophageal sphincter, making it incompetent. So stomach content can get aspirated and patient gets VAP. Another way VAP occur is by not handling airway devices with proper hand hygiene and ultimately contaminating the circuit. or suctioning the AT tube with infected suction catheter, or rather using same suction catheter every time for suctioning. That's why open suctioning, where catheter is exposed to surrounding, is associated with more chances of entering bacteria into the circuit. Also, frequent change of ventilator circuit is one of the way we actually introduce microbes into patient circuit. Let's try to understand what happens when bacteria enters respiratory tract via secretions. Mainly it forms thick proteinaceous layer inside endotracheal tube called biofilm. This biofilm acts as a surface for further source of infection, and biofilm get dispersed with each ventilatory breath push. This is how the infection spread in trachea and lower respiratory tract, and later pneumonia develops. Yes, VAP in majority of cases is preventable. As per the studies done, if nurses and respiratory physicians are educated about preventive strategy of VAP, there is more than half reduction in incidence of VAP occurrence.